Choco Chips. Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of the podcast. I'm pretty sure you enjoyed the first part a lot. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see these kind of podcasts. मैं ज़्यादा बातचीत नहीं करूँगा. Let's roll in the second part of the podcast. Cool. So, now, अब आप थोड़ी सी और बड़ी हो गई हैं. Let's come to your from school you have grown up now. So you mentioned that you wanted to study English literature, right? That is quite evident in the word selection which you have. That is quite evident the way you speak. It is pretty sure, someone who has a little bit of knowledge can hear you for a few minutes and say that maybe she's interested in literature. So you said that I had that aspiration, but then again I ended up in medicine or medical stream, however we call it. So how did that happen? Throw some light on that, because this is again a very common problem of a lot of people. They love a subject, but they don't study that. They study something else and they end up cribbing about it. But as far as I know you never crib. You are always smiling and talking about it. So what kind of struggle that is, what kind of mindset it takes to pursue something which you don't want to, and then again falling in love with that. So yeah, please throw some light on that.
I wanted to pursue my career in English literature. I loved it, and the love for English literature was developed from those folklores that I used to hear from my grandparents. So it was something in my childhood that was a nostalgia that I had of my childhood. And I wanted to do that, but due to certain circumstances, like my parents didn't want me to pursue English literature, or I was not confident enough about this career stream. And eventually I ended up doing fisheries, my bachelor's in fisheries sciences from Agriculture University of Kashmir. And this journey was quite derailed. I never dreamt of being in a fisheries college. I never dreamt of going into a medical field, which is quite different field than my field of interest. But at the same time, once I was in the college, my heart was not into it. Definitely I was not happy with whatever was happening, because whenever you are in a situation where you don't want to be, you will always try to find demerits in that situation. What is the bad thing about that situation? Everything bad about that thing will be highlighted, and everything good you start to ignore it. And I was no exception to all those things. I did the same thing. But eventually with time I accepted, and I tried to find some things that are very unique and aspiring in fisheries field, because fisheries was a subject that is very diverse. It was purely a medical stream, and we had to talk about fishes and also about statistics. I don't know if I have mentioned earlier or not, but I don't like maths at all.
Okay.
I have
okay. Oh, all right. I was not aware, but yeah, go on.
I don't like math. So I had a subject of statistics in my first year of college, and the passing marks were 60 and I got 62, and my teacher was like, see, you are failing in statistics and I gave you 2 marks, grace marks, just to make you qualify, just to आपको पास करने के लिए 2 marks दिया, otherwise you're not passing out this subject. And this was my level, and because I hated it, I was not studying. But eventually I find it very interesting. I find the subject very interesting. Talking about fisheries is altogether a different life underwater. I found I had to study about economics in fisheries as well. It was a different field. I had to study about chemistry as well. So somehow it was I find interest in it. I try to find the things that will encourage me, that will make me happy. So those small things I try to find, and I didn't kept my mind into the things that I don't like. अगर मैं ये सोचने बैठ जाती कि स्टैटिस्टिक्स है, मैं फेल हो गई, अब क्या होगा, ये अच्छी डिग्री नहीं है, I want to leave it, I could have never accepted fisheries. But I looked at the subjects that I liked. I looked at the subjects that made me happy, that I'm doing something different. Underwater है, फिर मैं diving करूँगी, ऐसा कुछ होगा.
Oh wow.
I tried to find interest in the fisheries subject, and meanwhile, once my heart was into the subject, once I was like, okay, it's fine, then in my free time I used to study English literature, I used to study books and all. So I did find time for my passion, as well as I excelled in my academic field. So I pursued both of these things separately, but they both developed me personally as well as academically. So I think that was, although fisheries was not my choice, it came to me by chance, but still I'm happy that it came my way. I'm happy about it.
Oh, wow, that's again beautifully put. So ऑडियंस से मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि आप देख सकते हो कि कुछ भी अगर आपके साथ जीवन में होता है तो उसमें कैसे पॉजिटिव एंगल ढूंढ सकते हैं और उस पॉजिटिव एंगल को कैसे और तराशा जा सकता है, वही हम सीख सकते हैं इनके स्टोरी से. और जैसा कि आप देख सकते हो, चोको चिप्स रेडियो हैज़ ऑलवेज बीन ट्राइंग टू डू थिंग्स डिफरेंटली, एंड henceforth we also try not to ask questions like क्या आपने कश्मीर की वादी में एलियन को देखा है, क्या आपने कश्मीर की वादियों में भूतों को देखा है. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हम नहीं पूछते हैं गेस्ट से, राइट. सो ये पॉडकास्ट जितने भी आते हैं चोको चिप्स रेडियो पे, आपने देखा होगा उनमें से अलग अलग टैंजेंट पे आप कई सारी चीज़ें सीख सकते हो, कई सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस ले सकते हो, एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट वी आर ऑल्सो ट्राइंग हियर, राइट. So beautifully summarized, beautifully put, Sana. In fact, I love to visit aquariums. Recently, I visited the aquarium of Bangalore. So it was wonderful. I mean, I was just not feeling like coming back from there. So yeah, fisheries is altogether a different branch, different interest area, I would say, right? So great. Awesome. So as you mentioned that we need to study few of the things in economy, I am hoping it is because of to get that idea that, hey, how the fish markets work and all, or is it on different lines?
No, it's basically about marketing strategies.
Yeah. Okay, cool, nice, wonderful. So, and also the fact is, I know very less people who have taken fisheries, so this is an area I believe you all can explore, and I'm pretty sure there is a vast majority to learn, and in fact there is a vast world of fisheries underwater, right? So please explore that and fall in love with that. Yeah, okay. So cool. So a lot of interesting things have been discussed so far. Now अब आप थोड़ी सी और बड़ी हो गई हैं, so आपने कॉलेज पास किया है, उसके बाद आप करियर को परस्यू करना चाह रही हैं, तो यू मेड मी रियलाइज दैट, हे, once you were introvert, then you grew up, you tried to come out of that bubble, then you started discovering things, and suddenly you discovered your passion for teaching, right? So what was that eureka moment कि आप एक दिन सुबह उठी, ऐसा कुछ हुआ था क्या? मतलब आप सुबह उठी, आपको पता चला, अरे यार आज से टीचर बनते हैं, ऐसा कुछ हुआ था क्या?
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ था.
ओके, तो ऐसा सिर्फ उन पॉडकास्ट पे होता है जहाँ पर गेस्ट से ये पूछा जाता है कि आपको मरने के बाद कैसा लगेगा. दैट वाज अ जोक. यस.
Okay. So हाँ, मतलब teaching had never been my ambition. If we talk about the profession that you want to be, a aim in life. So हर एक बच्चा जो होता है ना, उसका पहला लाइफ का एम होता है to become a teacher, because that is the first person that they see, the first person that has some authority, that has some power. Because kindergarten में जो वो teachers को देखते हैं, they're like, wow, they are the people of authority. They can do anything in the world. Like, they can talk to our parents, they can scold them, they can scold us.
True,
so
true,
they
yeah.
they are like super world, super people. So it is the ambition of every child in their nursery or kindergarten age, and I was no exception. I wanted to become a teacher during very young age. But as I grew up teaching, as I came to my senses and I realized that there are more people of authority, not just teachers, there are many people that have power. So teaching was never had been my ambition. Because the second reason for not opting this field as a profession was that I, being a shy girl, I was being constantly aware, or I was being made constantly aware of the fact that I'm shy, I'm introvert. Everyone I met, almost everyone, they used to tell me that, हाँ आप तो shy हो, and आप तो बात नहीं कर सकती, आप तो बात ही नहीं करती हो. And I was like, a wallflower in everything. I didn't know that I had good communication skills. I didn't know that, I can be a teacher, because for me, teaching was something that is all about talking. But the time when I realized that I have a passion for teaching and I can do it was during my master's. My guide was not feeling well at that time. He was having a headache or something, and he said that go to first year and teach them. And my first reaction was, no, never. I'm not going. Forget about it. He was like, no, you have to go. You have read this topic now. I said, yes, I have read it. And he said, then go. What is the issue? Are you not prepared for it? And even if you're not prepared, it's okay. You have 1 hour till the class. Prepare it and go. And I was like, no, I'm not going. Don't even think about it. And then he said that you don't have any option. I'm not feeling well. What will I do? How many things will I do? Just you have to go, otherwise I'll cut your marks or whatever. Then I went to my friends and I told them that, our guide wants us to go in and deliver a lecture, so please do it. I didn't tell them that he asked me to do it, and I tell them he's asking you to do it, so you go. And every one of them was like, he said we are not going. I had no other option but to go in the class. And believe me when I say this, I was so nervous. I was shivering. I was sweating. I was like, what is happening? I wanted the floor to just cut. I wanted the floor to just crack, and I want to get inside it.
Oh, okay. It was that bad.
Yeah. Because I never used to talk much. But when I went into the class and I started teaching students, they were like blank faces. They were not saying anything, but and I completed my lecture and I completed my topic. The class was about 45 minutes or so, and I completed in half an hour. And then I said, are there any questions? And they started asking questions, and they were interested in the topic. And I was like, what is happening? Are they really liking it or what? So I thought maybe it's by chance. It's fine. It's okay. It happens. Sometimes it's your lucky day. So they said that we really understood the concept. We really understood everything. So yeah, they were like normal. They were like, yeah, ma'am, thank you. And okay. I was like, okay, fine. I'm leaving. Then I couldn't believe myself. I thought like it's my lucky day. That's just this. Or maybe I know this topic way too well. And then after a few days, there was a diploma program in our college. So there were some students that I had to teach them about aquarium and all, and how to take care of it and everything. So my guide again came in and he said that you take their class. And I said, of course. I said, no, sir, you give them introduction and everything. He said, yeah, I'll be giving introduction, but I have a meeting. I'm in a hurry. So you control them. I will brief themselves about everything and then I'll go. So he quickly briefed them and he left. I didn't get enough time to tell him like, no, don't leave me here with them. But then I started communicating with them and I taught them the concepts and everything. And at the end, they give me like, there was a spark in their eyes. They said that we have been in this workshop for some time, but you taught us very well. We understood the concept. We understood everything. And one thing they told me that whatever you said, it was very simplified. And if you ask us any question, we'll be able to answer. And that at that time, I realized maybe this is not like, every day can't be your lucky day. Maybe I have that skill. Maybe I have that communication skill. And it clicked my mind. Seeing the gratitude in their eyes, seeing the appreciation that they gave me, because they were different from different schools. They came into our college just to know about fishes and aquariums. So I thought like maybe there is something that 2 different classes are giving me feedback, and that too a positive feedback. So there must be something about it. Maybe what I have been told till now, that I'm not a good communicator, that I don't communicate well, and I cannot articulate my thoughts in into the words. That is what I was grown up with. That is the judgment people had made about me, and which I believed. The worst part is I believed them because
Okay.
they constantly told me this.
Yeah.
I thought maybe this is not correct. This is not right. Maybe I should give it a try. And then I approached, after my master's, I approached a private coaching institute and I told them, like, I want to give it a try to teach students. And when I taught there, they were quite impressed by me and they were happy. Students were giving positive feedbacks and they were happy and they were
Expressing their emotions. Yeah.
And they were loving me. And I felt like, wow, this is something I want to do. And that time I decided,
Awesome.
like, no, I want to make a change. And being myself, struggling in my childhood with not being extrovert, not being loud, not being able to speak up, I wanted to create an environment for my students where everyone can open up their hearts, where everyone can speak, where everyone is giving priority, where everyone is given attention and focus so that they can speak up. So I wanted to make an impact in their lives through my experience. So I thought, like, even if it's a small effort, even if it's a ripple in a sea, but it will not go unnoticed. So I will start it.
That's brilliant, Sana. Yeah, and in fact, the way you started with tingling sensations in your legs and all, and then came to become a wonderful teacher is itself quite inspiring, right? And it would actually inspire a lot of educators and teachers who actually want to teach, but they are hesitant. Also, the fact that in our country, teaching is not seen as a noble profession for some reason, because it is believed that those who do not have a job, they try to become a teacher, which is also true to some extent, and that's exactly the reason good teachers go unnoticed. But thankfully now people like you are coming and changing that scenario. So काफी अच्छी बात कही आपने और काफी इम्पोर्टेंट बात कही. इस चीज को जरूर सामने रखना अनिवार्य था, because otherwise what would have happened is that people might have got that mentality and they would have carried with that mentality that, hey, we should not become teachers. But you prove that, hey, we should become teachers. I would like to share one story, a small story with you. So what happened was, I know a person who is a senior. So he is 3 years senior than I am. So he qualified civil services examination and he had an all India rank of 200 something. So he got Indian Revenue Services and he went for the training part. He joined the services. Then in one of the seminars, when he was explaining things, he was talking to the audience, he realized that he loves teaching, he loves explaining. And he left the job. He actually left the job and has become a teacher. So that's so powerful, right? Yeah. I mean, he left the job of a revenue service officer to become a teacher. That's very inspiring. In fact, he's a very inspiring person as well. His name is Dr. Shivin Chaudhary. So he's also from medical profession. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yeah, you were saying something, Sana?
Yes. I was saying that that's the thing that we need to understand. Being a teacher is not just about getting a job, and we should not look at teaching as a profession so that we can earn and we can live our life, have a good standard life. Teaching is also about that you are impacting other person's life. You're impacting the mind of students. And I think being a teacher is one of the difficult jobs that one can have. Difficult in terms of that you have to put in whatever is in your mind into other person's mind. You have to, you have to plant your idea in other person's mind, and then you have to water that plant so that it can grow in their own way.
Absolutely.
You have to provide that environment to the child. So it should never be the last option teaching should never be the last option of the person, because it's about someone's life. So I have
Absolutely.
myself seen teachers. I myself seen teachers that are there just because they are there, nothing else. But a teacher, most of all, should be an empath. A teacher needs to be an empath. A teacher needs to be patient. A teacher has some qualities, and they should have that qualities, because they are dealing with the future. They are dealing with the future of society, future of the country, and they are dealing with their own future. How you want to be treated, those students will treat you in
Absolutely.
In your old age.
All right, so this conversation is actually very, very interesting for me as well, and I'm learning a lot of things from this conversation personally. और मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि इस तरह के कॉन्वर्सेशंस जो हैं बहुत ही कम हमें देखने को मिलते हैं. आपको इस तरह के कॉन्वर्सेशन तभी देखने को मिलेंगे जब आप किसी के साथ बैठकर इत्मीनान से बातें करेंगे. आजकल तो लोग किसी के मौत पर भी #RIP लिखकर फुर्र हो जाते हैं, तो हमारे पास उतना भी टाइम नहीं है. लेकिन काफ़ी अच्छा लगता है जब इस तरह के पॉडकास्ट को आप देखकर इतने सारे प्यार भरे मैसेजेस भेजते हैं और इतनी ज़्यादा सराहना करते हैं. सो थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर एनकरेजिंग Choco Chips to do all this. It's all your support, all your love that we are able to bring such wonderful products before you. So keep liking, keep subscribing, and do share it with your loved ones. Coming back to Sana, yeah? So, just a second, yeah. Coming back to you, Sana. So you said that a teacher should be an empath, which is a very, very powerful line. Can you elaborate on that more? Because I have seen teachers not being that empathetic. They feel that, ठीक है, इतना तो आना ही चाहिए किसी को. अगर इतना नहीं आता है तो वो बेवकूफ़ है. उसे क्या ही पढ़ा दे, उसे क्या ही समझा दे. सारे स्कूल्स में ये चीज़ें हैं. मेरे स्कूल में भी थी ये चीज़ें. जैसे कि अब कोई बच्चा अगर किसी पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट में कमज़ोर है, तो उस पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट के टीचर आकर एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि अरे यार ये तो आना ही चाहिए, किस गधे को मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ. इस तरह की चीज़ें भी बोल देते हैं कई बार. तो हाउ डज इट इम्पैक्ट अ चाइल्ड्स माइंड, एंड how can we build more empathy towards people? Because it is very, very essential trait which I feel not only for teachers but also for common human beings. So can you tell us that how have you developed that empathy for others?
Okay, so like I said, I myself was a struggling student. I was very resistant in asking questions, and I was very resistant in participating in any of the class activities. And when I became an educator, I thought that the only people that struggle was the people like me, the students like me, that are shy, that are introvert, that don't open up very easily. But being an educator, it made me understand that this is not the stop. There are many kind of people and they are struggling in their own ways. Like you said, कोई बच्चा होता है ना जिसको मैथ में उतना ज़्यादा होल्ड नहीं होता है. जैसे मैं खुद थी, मुझे मैथ में उतना ज़्यादा होल्ड नहीं था. But I liked biology, I liked zoology, I liked English. So there are many people, there are many students that struggle in their respective subjects, or there are many students that struggle in general, like पढ़ाई उनसे नहीं हो पाती. So as a teacher, I think एक teacher को सबसे पहले they do not need to point them out. They do not need to badger them down. Rather, they need to encourage them. Mm-hmm. You won't believe that I was one time in one class and I told them that this class is my favorite and you are the most understanding, and you're the people that can understand very good, and I know you can do well in your tests. And they were like, ma'am, no one has said ever this about us, because that was the class that was like, they were the batch that was kept aside because they are the weaker students of the class, weaker students of the whole class. Like 7th में से weaker को निकाला, उनको अलग रखा. So they were that class, and when I said them, they were so surprised, and you won't believe that they did well in my subject. And the reason is that the students need to be encouraged rather than badgered down. Even if you cannot understand that why they are struggling, still you need to help them. You're there to help them. As a teacher, you need to be very innovative. You need to find different things that can help the students. Maybe I have never faced the problem of I've never faced the problem of self study, and maybe one of my students are facing that problem of self studying. They don't like to self study, or they cannot read a paragraph. While I didn't have that problem at all, but I have to help that student. Even if I don't know the method by which I can help them, but I can search it. I can invest some of the time to find the techniques that can really help him. So it is like a teacher should be involved in the life of the students, because at the end of the day, they are spending more time in school or with their coaches or with whoever is teaching them. They are spending a lot of time with that person, and we should understand that the teacher is a person that student listens to more than their parents. They are going to tell us what is right and what is wrong. They respect us. So that is why a teacher should be understanding of the student's perspective as well. We should keep ourselves in their shoes, and we should understand, like, why is he struggling. We should talk to them. We should be a good listener. Teacher should be a good listener. If you don't understand what the student is going through, just talk to him or her, and उनको बोलने दो कि what they are feeling. Let them vent out their emotions, so that you can find that one line that will tell you that what exactly is the point of resistance in that student. Why is he struggling at that specific point? So just talk to them if you can't understand their situation. If it's something that is beyond your understanding, talk to them, and you will get to know what exactly is the hurdle. So a key to empathy is a good listening, I think. We should be good listener, because when you listen to people and without being judgmental at the same time, sometimes we listen and we are judging, like, ये तो छोटी सी problem है, क्या ये बेचारा इस पे ऐसे बोल रहा है, इतना क्या मसला है. But don't be judgmental. Just listen to them in order to understand what is their point of view. And once you listen to them, you will try to understand what exactly is the issue. And I think this is the key to empathy, to listen and not to judge.
Oh, wow, that's brilliant. Yeah.
And a teacher should also not be, a teacher should always be adaptive. I've learned in my life, after coming from my maternal house to my paternal house, I had to adapt to changes. From my mind being in an English literature field to getting to a medical field, I had to adapt. And I felt that a teacher should be very adaptive, because in a class there are 30 students, and 30 students have 30 problems, and these 30 students will have 30 personalities, and these 30 students will have 30 learning paces. So I don't have to focus on all the weaker students only. I have to keep in mind that I have those brilliant students as well. They need not to lag behind.
All right, Sana. So we are close to wrap this conversation up. I know that you have other tasks as well. I would have loved to have a conversation with you whole night. But again, I know that you have a lot of things to accomplish on your plate. So I would not hold you for long. We would discuss a few of the things and then we can wrap this up. So, all right. So on that note, what's your advice to the young listeners? What would you like to advise them who are struggling with their thoughts, who are struggling with anything in their life, who are in your situation, maybe facing hardships in different ways? They feel they're lonely. कोई नहीं है उनसे बात करने को. So what would you like to advise them?
Okay, so my advice to the young listeners would be that we should embrace what life gives us. It's okay if you're fighting. It's okay to fight sometimes, but sometimes we need to surrender and give in. So it's the most important thing that we need to understand, to embrace the situation, to surrender to the situation. Sometimes it's not in our hands, and it's okay, it's fine. It doesn't mean that it's a failure. It means that there is, like, we are diverting our path and we are going other path maybe, but who knows that this path will eventually lead to where we wanted to go. So for the young listeners out there listening out me, it's okay, whatever it is, it's fine, it's okay. Just trust the process, trust yourself, and embrace the journey. It's not always about the destination, it's not always about where you're going. It's sometimes, and most of the times, it's about the journey. So just live in the moment and just take in everything that is there in the moment, cherish the moment, and just experience the journey. The destination will eventually arrive when it has to arrive. So yeah, so embrace the journey, that's all.
Oh, that's wonderful. Right. Yeah. So, do you believe in destiny? As you said, the destination will arrive when it has to arrive. So, on that note, I would like to ask you, do you believe in destiny?
Not in destiny, but there is the final thing that in life we all have the aim. We all want to achieve something. We all want to be somewhere. So this is what I believe, that eventually we will be there wherever we want to be. If eventually it will arrive. So yeah, that's what I think about destiny. I think there is a destiny. I do believe in destiny.
Okay.
If you don't believe in destiny, but you should have that one thing, the goal in your life. So we should we will reach out to some place, and it's not about where we reach, but we will reach somewhere, and that should be enough.
All right, that's again beautifully put. So having a conversation with you is giving me a feel that, hey, I should also someday attend your class and maybe learn something. That, hey, okay, what are the new facets of looking at some old thing? What is the new perspective? So you have a very good perspective, and as you mentioned that you are very observant since childhood, which is very much visible. You go into the layer of the problem, you go into the layer of the observation, which is really amazing. Not a lot of people are capable of doing that. So yeah, think about starting a podcast. Maybe. Tell me.
Maybe I'll give it a...
Yeah.
But I was just saying that in a world, like it's always said that human is a social animal, or we are interdependent on each other. So we should always try to connect with each other. We should always try to make bridges with one another. And in order to make those bridges, we need to be more empathetic, and we need to be more caring and kind towards the other person. So that's from the start, I was saying that kindness, empathy, and being accommodative, adaptable is very much important. And making connection with other people is very much important in order to make a compassionate world. It's easier to talk about the compassionate world, but it starts with the small things. It will start with you. It will start with me. So that is an important task that we should understand. So I want the people to make connections, to build bridges with one another, because we cannot live alone. We are interdependent on each other, and that's a fact.
Yeah, absolutely. We are interdependent social animals. That's what we are in the grand scheme of things, and very well thought out, very well put, right? Cool, Sana. So a lot of wise things coming out. One message, if you have to give to the future generations, what would that one message be? Who are basically to those people who are aspiring to make a positive dent or a positive change in the society and in their own life as well? What would that one message be from Sana Bashir?
So I would just say that no efforts are small. Don't think that you are just one person and what you are going to do, because it's most of the people that I've talked to are like, what can we possibly do? What will our words do? Your words can build or destroy some person. Your words can build a career of a person, or it can destroy that person's personality forever. And that's a teacher. So never think that any effort is small. just work towards it. Like I said, it might just be a ripple in a sea, but it will be impactful. So we should not think that we cannot do anything. It's just a small act. Every small act merged together will form a bigger change. And we together, even if one person will come together, they will make a great impact in the society. That is what is being told, that union is strength. In unity, we have strength. So we should practice that thing, because unity is strength. And we not only, I'm not talking about teachers only, parents, friends, neighbors. Every person in a society is a teacher to one another, and we should always try to make world a better and compassionate place. So I would advise, my advice would be, don't ever think that your actions are small. Every small action can have a bigger impact. So believe in yourself and just walk on that path.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
What a wonderful message that is. And the way you said it, it seemed like you're speaking. There is a poem in Hindi, Khoob Ladi Mardani, wo to Jhansi wali Rani thi. In that mode, you said, you believe in yourself and achieve what you want. So, yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because people will try to tell you otherwise. This is a common notion. People that are compatible, people that can really make impact, people that have power, they're not doing anything. Why? Because they just say that what can we possibly do? It's what can our अगर हम लोग अकेले कुछ करेंगे तो उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, बट फर्क पड़ता है. अगर सब लोग ये सोचने लगे कि हमसे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, तब तो कुछ नहीं होगा ना. Every person has to come up and every person has to start. Even if you are able to change one person, that's enough. That one person will change two other, those two will change four other, and eventually, even not in your lifetime, but in future, you will create a legacy wherein people will be compassionate, and that will be an achievement.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how a mass movement or a mass thought can be spread out, right? So that's wonderful, Sana. Very well thought out. And do you also do some sort of writing? Because this kind of clarity in thoughts normally come when a person writes a lot. So do you write in your free time?
No, but I want to.
Oh, okay. You want to. All right. Do you record your voice or, your thoughts somewhere? No. Okay.
No.
All right. So then though it's more powerful, because normally when we write things out, we get clarity, we get filtered thoughts. But without writing, if you're getting so much clarity, that's wonderful. Yeah.
I'm a thinker. Like I said, I think a lot. So that's why I think I sometimes talk to myself. I just roam around in my room, I just go to and fro and I talk to myself. And I think that is what makes clarity in my mind. Self-talk is something that I practice on daily basis. Whatever the problem is, I'll talk to myself.
Oh, wow. This habit even I have. And in fact, I talk standing before the mirror. In my room also, when I walk, I keep talking. So my mom at times thinks that I'm talking to my beloved, which is not true. So yeah, those things also happen, right? So yeah, so that's actually a very powerful technique. In fact, if you stand before the mirror and talk to yourself, that is also a very good technique of filtering thoughts out. Cool. Now a very, very important and a very excited question, I would like to say, exciting question, I would like to say, because I'm quite excited about this. What would you like to say about my baby Choco Chips and the kind of products which are coming? Yeah, I call it a baby so that I can nurture it well. The kind of products which are coming on the channel, what is your honest opinion about it? Nothing will be edited, so you can be absolutely blunt and honest about it.
Yeah, so I think your channel is doing a marvelous job. Like I started, that you are bringing up ordinary people and highlighting the extraordinary things that they have done in your life. And I've seen most of your podcast, and I think I mentioned it, one of the podcasts by It
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
marvelous. I was a fan of that person during that time, and that was the first time I was seeing in on podcast. And most of your podcasts, they always give something to learn, and they give us perspective of different people living different life, coming from different backgrounds, having different thought process, which is a very good thing that I find in your podcast. And particularly, I think about you that you are very eloquent speaker. You can really articulate. I was thinking in the morning that you can really articulate your thoughts to words. You have that one thing, we can say it's a good quality in you, that you clearly articulate your thoughts and words, and that is clearly visible in your podcast. And they are very, you know, when you start your podcast, I really like the suspense that you create.
Okay.
It's like I want to watch the whole of it.
Oh,
What is in it?
that's so amazing. Yeah.
That suspense factor is very good. It makes me wonder, like, what is inside the podcast, what is inside the videos, even the general videos that you make. So yeah, and topics are very relevant as well. So my feedback is, I really like your channel, and I wish you all the best. You're doing a very great job, and yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks a lot, Sana. Means a lot coming from thoughtful thinkers like you. And I'm pretty sure that you do not say good words about everybody, because you are a thoughtful thinker. You are a very deep thinker, right? You are so thoughtful. So that's great. And we would try our level best to bring new perspectives from people who can be extremely famous as of now, or who might not be at all famous. We want every person to come and share their own unique perspective. That's the idea behind Choco Chips Radio, right?
That's the beauty of this channel.
Thanks a lot.
Getting to know about different perspectives of life. So that's I also saw your one podcast about the single mother.
Yes.
So it was also it was very marvelous, and I get to know about what problems those people face, because I never thought about it before.
Exactly.
To be really frank, I've never given it a thought. But when I saw your podcast, I was like, really, this is something that we need to focus upon. We need to think upon. So things like this, it's bringing up those topics which are not much highlighted, or which are even highlighted. So talking about random stuff, it's a very good thing. And the way you narrate everything and touch every tangent, it's very good. And believe me, I don't talk good words about everybody. I either choose to cut it short and be silent if I don't want to be offensive. But if I'm talking so much about you, I really like your channel.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Sana, for bringing your honest emotions out. And it was an absolute pleasure and honor to host you on the Choco Chips Radio. And thanks a lot for sharing your incredible journey with us. This was really something which we can draw, which we can learn from, and which we can incorporate in our day-to-day life. Because I see a lot of different kind of unique thoughts coming out from you, which a lot of people miss in their day-to-day life. जिससे हमारे ऑडियंस को भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा नया पर्सपेक्टिव मिलेगा कश्मीर के बारे में, कश्मीर के लोगों के बारे में, टीचिंग के बारे में, लोगों के साथ कैसे काइंड हुआ जाए उसके बारे में, लोगों के अंदर के इमोशंस को कैसे पहचाना जाए उसके बारे में, और अपने जीवन में कैसे किसी नेगेटिव सिचुएशन को पॉजिटिविटी में कन्वर्ट किया जाए, इन चीज़ों के बारे में, राइट? That was wonderful. That was so wonderful. So any last remark you would like to say, and then I can let you go. I know that maybe you are getting late. So yeah.
I would just at the end, I would like to say thank you for having me. At first, I was not sure about how this will unwind. But yeah, I'm really happy to be the part of Choco Chip channel, and I wish you all the best and all the best in the world. I wish you do great and reach greater heights. So yeah, that's all.
Thanks a lot, Sana. Thanks a lot. Wishing to have you once again on the podcast. Till then, stay jolly, stay thirsty, and be great.